Golf's no different from hockey. Requires talent, self-discipline.
Golf requires goofy pants and a fat ass. You should talk to my neighbor, the accountant, probably a great golfer, huge ass.
How do you measure yourself with other golfers? By height.
It's a very, very special honor.
I'm Paula Kramer, and you're listening.
Well, we're waiting.
Hi, this is Martin Cove, a.k.a. John Kreese from Cobra Kai, and you're listening to
Quiet, Please.
Let the word go out from here across the land. Let Daddy Noonan approve.
Hi, boys. Nice day for golf, ain't it? Quiet, please. Oh, you got secrets, eh?
Hey, this is Shooter McGavin. You're listening to the...
Hey, you guys. Hey, we're trying to have a podcast over here.
Indeed we are, and it is the Thanksgiving edition. And we have got a short bench. It's a short week for preparation, so we're just keeping it simple. BE on the road. Prettiest podcasts are on the road, but I am joined in our little three ball here with, to my lower left, Mr. Andy Hydorn, forever known as Don't Be That Guy.
Do not be that guy.
Or the ever-present one. And he likes to call himself Boston Bob, but we really know he's now Bourbon Bob, hailing from Kentucky. PGA golf professional, national award winner, all-round good dude, and he's got horses in his backyard. Bob Baldessari.
I want you to do that turkey call. We need to save it, and we need to open. We need to add that into the show open. It's so good.
And I'm Alan Depew. As always, hey, we like to talk about whatever the topics are that are affecting the golf industry, trying to discuss the men, women, and people that are shaping the game. And as always, we've got topics to talk about. It is Thanksgiving week. We have our special Thanksgiving background up there. I'm not gonna lie. I'm digging the I'm digging some of that turkey right there. I'll be scarfing some of that on Thursday. Guys, interesting storylines. We got everything from Jack's vindication to Callaway. That's why I'm wearing the hat. To the rebirth of 16 years later, the Skins game. So, where do you want, Andy? You're to my lower left. Where would you like to chime in? And I should also add to anyone that is out there listening. We always accept and want comments. We want interaction from people that are watching. You can chime in on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram channels. We're constantly monitoring them. Please keep it clean because I just won't read it if you don't. So there you go. So Andy, as a former Callaway guy,
yeah.
Let's go there.
Okay, I was going to suggest something different, but okay, let's go there.
Okay.
So I know they had announced maybe not quite a year ago that this was imminent, that they were going to split the two companies. I think Topgolf's been struggling over the last couple of years. And I think Topgolf needs to figure out how to reinvent itself here. Little sidebar. But yeah, this was something that I think both companies really wanted to do. But when you have two companies that are under the same stock umbrella, it is not easy to figure out how to do that, because you got to take the stock of Topgolf, the stock of Callaway Golf. You got to split those shares. You got to figure out what to do on the financial end. I mean, it's a super complicated deal. And I think that's why it took a significant amount of time to get this done.
Bobby, Cowboys always had a minority interest. I believe the number was 12%. They obviously exercised only, when was it? 2021, maybe? I'm sorry, 2022. They went all in, and suddenly a golf ball manufacturing company became a entertainment company. And since that time, in the last 4 years, I want to make sure I get this correct here. Shares, to Andy's point, shares for the combined group have fallen, ready for this, 70% multi-year peak in 2021. Meanwhile, Acushnet, they doubled. So Was the writing on the wall from the onset?
Probably. What's that business maxim? Buy low, sell high. But yeah, they probably get caught up in the COVID thing, and I was completely, utterly shocked beyond shock when the 60% of the sale were worth $1.2 billion. I mean, that was amazing. I don't know how they get some of the numbers, but maybe it's just biting off too much if you chew. A lot of business books written about stick in your core, stay in your core. Callaway get out there. I can get it. Hey, we can get to the consumers. Well, they'll be hitting Callaway balls, hitting Callaway clubs, everything like that. Then you have the aspect of those people, X amount, big percentage that don't go to green grass. So yeah, they're using your Callaway clubs, being exposed to the Callaway brand at Topgolf, but then they're not converting that to sales because they're not really golfers and not playing golf. This will probably go into some of those executive management schools.
Think about how difficult those conversations were at valuing the companies, right? And I'm sure that there are some business metrics used to come to the final numbers, but man, there had to be a lot of negotiating behind closed doors to figure out how to equitably split the two entities back to where they were and figure out how to value each.
Yeah, and then I also saw, I guess Callaway is not. The article I read was it would have been nice if Callaway went back to the New York Stock Exchange call letters that they had before that had Eli in it.
ELY.
Yeah.
But they're going to go some to CAL or something. I don't know.
I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, Andy, again, I'm going to lean on your past with the organization, but I mean, their logic was, hey, I'm a minority shareholder. I'm putting my clubs in all these newbies' hands as they're coming into the game. And if I could get them comfortable with the Callaway product as they hopefully transition to the green grass, as Bobby's saying, they're going to play our product down the road. I mean, in a nutshell, do you think that's what was going on in their logic?
Oh, I'm sure it was, but I agree with Bob, and whether he meant to say it or not, he hit the nail on the head with the statement about these people are not converting to golf. The National Golf Foundation is counting Topgolf players as golfers, but they're not converting to the golf course. I think golf course golfers are using Topgolf, but I don't think there's a tremendous, and I don't know the statistics, but I don't think there's a tremendous amount of people who have entered the game at that Topgolf kind of gateway and started then playing on golf courses. I just don't know that was a fact of how this thing played out. And if that's not true, then the gamble that Callaway, played in doing this didn't work.
They Bobby, they bluffed with a pair of twos. Our friend Greg Nathan, now the head of the NGF, he gets to the unenviable task of always defending the infamous we can build a golf course a day for the rest of our lives and always have enough demand, et cetera, like 30 years ago. But you're right. I mean, they even the NGF, they had to start counting. They had to change the metric to paint some positive news back into the business, that because it wasn't that the number of golfers was necessarily expanding, which it now has somewhat, quite a bit actually, but it's the metric that they're measuring golf participation and touching the game. Do you agree, sir?
Yeah, well, they had the one stat that more people now are consuming the game, playing the game off course and on course for the first time ever. So, the spin on that is, hey, more people into the golf ecosystem, which isn't so bad. But then, can you convert them over back to green grass? Can you get them back over? Oh, you moved on me.
I did.
Wow. Yeah, if you're watching this and you get to see the background there,
that was a good move. That was a good move.
Well, now I'm the turkey.
We need to see your face, not the turkey.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Andy's image there looks like Sean Connery. I can't.
He really does. I mean,
yeah,
the graphic artist really did him well. The rest of us,
I personally think they nailed all of us.
Oh yeah, because I have a black beard just like Bobby does.
Well, I think they took 30 years off of all of us and maybe added 5 to Christian.
That's my AI composite right there.
You got me totally off. I forgot what I was talking about now. When you drop
while you're remembering what you were talking about, I just feel like the second part of that gamble, Alan, like you said, was getting Callaway clubs in the hands of these new golfers. But I would love to see a stat on how many people are new golfers that don't own a piece of golf equipment because they play Topgolf and they have clubs there for them, right? So they're not consumers of golf equipment. And, I just don't know that was really how this whole thing was thought through.
Well, and then it's also expansion. I've chatted with a number of guys, and I may have even said it here before, but here in Jersey, golf participation haven of New Jersey, they had the Edison one, which is still rocking and rolling because it's literally right around the corner from Rutgers University. But then they built Mount Laurel, and then they popped into Pennsylvania, and they built one in Northeast Philly. And they started doing these smaller footprints. Then they did another one out in Valley Forge, and suddenly, as it becoming this great experience to go try it and being almost a destination, now it was readily available. I mean, from my house, I can be at 4 of these locations in the most of probably an hour or 5 minutes.
So here's my question, Alan. What's bringing you back to Topgolf?
I'm sorry to say this for the Topgolf parties. That's the only thing that would make me go back at this point, because I think the better golfers are not going there because the golf ball flies a limited distance. They may go there on date night, maybe, or something like that. But I think I see more of a trend towards, and I'd love to have one of the execs on. I see them making an emphasis on trying to do group and party business. What do you guys think?
I think I can make that happen, getting one of the execs on.
Good.
I think I could make that happen. But yeah, I'm with you. I feel like the first couple of times it was a novelty. I remember taking my own clubs into Topgolf.
I did as well.
Yep. And really it turned out to be just the golf part of it is super uninteresting to me. Like last year they were all excited that they were going to get very creative, and they put a football goalpost out there in the middle of the kind of the hitting area with no context around it. Like there wasn't a game attached to it, nothing. And I think from a golfer's point of view, it lacks any real hook to want me to come back, I just don't see it.
I mean, yeah, it's more total entertainment. I've gone to 3 or 4 of them, and kind of like Alan, I guess I don't know. It was like, all right, I'll do this for an hour or 2, hit some balls, drink a couple beers. It was entertainment. It was, and you got to, I think the 3 of us were our lives around golf and careers in golf. So we got to pull back a little bit. But I think that the regular golfer, there is the thrill of, hey, I hit driver, 7-iron, hit to a tuck pin, made birdie, like the thrill of on the course, the strategy, like nothing is ever going to replace that for the golfer. And then the casual golfer, the once a year, the party animal, people falling into the net. Sometimes you see that. I mean, the craziness out there, to hit it in and make some points and, I don't know, meet a girl, whatever. I don't know. Like it's golf entertainment.
I was incorrect. I've been 4 times. The first time I took Andrew and Carly, that was up to Edison. Second time I took Tyler and Tommy, and we again just the dad son kind of thing for those 2 times. And then I took the staff from Eagle Ridge, and the last time we went for my birthday, and we only once had somebody almost fall into a net, and it wasn't me. So it's an interesting. It's going to be. I think Leonard Green Partners, who acquired it for 1.1 billion, I believe was the final tally. If they need any help, I mean, they're more than welcome to come on the show as well. We'd be happy to give them our insight into how to strategize. I'm sure Mr. Hydorn won't hold back.
Hey, what's interesting? We're talking about the golf entertainment value for people who actually play golf is lacking there. But I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a putt shack. Have you guys heard of putt shack?
Yeah.
I find putt shack to be, for a golfer, actually fun and challenging, and there's actually some golf to it,
Well, Tiger's Pop Stroke down. What's he got? 4 or 5 locations now?
Yeah, I haven't been to a Pop Stroke, but
I've been there.
What's interesting from a real estate component, whereas it used to be a Macy's or a J.C. Penney's, you got some of these strip malls, and these recreational entertainment venues are actually becoming some of the anchors for some of these smaller centers.
Yeah,
I find it kind of cool.
Yep, I do too. And I think if Topgolf can figure out how to actually be fun for people who play golf, I think it'd be a different ballgame for them.
I've already figured out what they need to do, but they got to call me first. I'm tired of giving away my stuff for free, Andy.
Well, think about it. There's what's the number? Is there 5 million new quote unquote golfers that they've classified that have been brought in from things like Topgolf? Is it 5 million the number?
I'm not sure what the number is.
So let's just say it's 5 million. Why not be figuring out the other 25 million that are golfers and figure out how to get them back interested in being a regular at Topgolf?
The total number of golfers was reported to be 64.3. That's by Golfdom. I don't have NGF here.
That's worldwide.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that number was I should have this on the top of my head.
30. I thought it was 30.
37 million seems to stick in my mind.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe one of the best ones of them ever is a guy by the name of Nicklaus, Bobby.
Oh, I sensed a segue there.
You did indeed. It's kind of like what's passing the mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
So
that was good.
Robert, the Golden Bear was in the news, and Vindication. Would you like to share, to read a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been following that for a while, but here's an interesting perspective. My wife Pam shows me her phone it was yesterday, and she goes, "Wow, Jack Nicklaus bankrupt." Or bankruptcy, and I said, "Oh, here's what happened." But those headlines are going to grab you, so I think the
clickbait.
Yeah, they're going to get misconstrued about the Nicklaus Company and Jack sued his company and the whole thing. It's going to get kind of crazy, but I got to feel good for Jack that he got vindicated. The backroom dealings and all that stuff had to be pretty interesting. I've been trying to help get doubles golf going. It's a 2-person 9-hole format, team scramble. Jack's behind it. Jack's all about it, but he just couldn't really focus to help that grow. We've been trying to help that grow because he's been so swamped with this other stuff. So I've been around Jack a little bit. He wants doubles golf to be part of his legacy, but he just couldn't get out there to do a lot of stuff with it because of this legal proceeding, which stinks. And I mean, I'm personally glad he's through it. I don't know a whole lot of those minor details, but just to follow it for a while, it's really weird to see Jack Nicklaus suing the Nicklaus Companies. Like, it just catches you off guard.
So Andy, before when I was passing the mashed potatoes, I failed to use the placeholder. So I should have set the table a little better. Jack Nicklaus, the person, filed a defamation lawsuit against the Nicklaus Companies, and was awarded a $50 million judgment. And he filed it against the Nicklaus Companies, the entity, and as well as billionaire banker Howard Milstein, as well as Nicklaus executive Andrew O'Brien, because, and watch what I'm going to do here, because this could almost tie into boom. What did the company be found guilty of saying that Jack was doing?
I don't know. Tell us.
They said that Jack was going to defect and go to live.
Right.
And so they actually, that's what Jack won. He won the defamation suit that at no time did he consider going to live golf. And he actually tried to name Milstein and O'Brien as individuals. The Florida jury chose not to do that. But then in turn, Milstein and 8 AM Golf, who owns the Nicklaus Companies, boom, big old bankruptcy on the Nicklaus Companies.
Yeah, they own everything. They own golf.com. They own Mura Golf. I mean, they own a lot of stuff.
They now have 8 AM Travel. Yep.
Yeah. So, I bet Jack, and I know from reading it, I bet Jack was sitting there thinking, what did I do? I signed away, so many rights to my name and my company, and he was made to look, or he was made to risk looking bad. And I think at the end of the day, he was finally done with it. And he's like, I'm not doing that. And it's been going on for a couple of years. So,
I think the number they had tested, and don't quote me on this one, but I believe they said it was like $1 billion. He was going to be the new face of Live for like $1 billion, et cetera, something along that crazy line. And it's just not
just like every other freaking Live rumor that comes across the desk.
There's never a Live rumor. It's all factual.
Every time you think that Live is like fading away, it's like in Back to the Future when Michael J. Fox strums his guitar and he shows up again, right? But yeah.
Hey, can I drop in a little general comment, historical thing here? It's interesting that Jack's he had a Golden Bear. What I want to talk about really quickly was just the interesting evolution in the golf industry, going way back to the Walter Hagen years, the Ultra Irons, the McGregors, the Wilsons at the time, Spalding, Top Flight, Powerbilt, Hillerk Bradsby, like all those companies. At one point it was so iconic that my dad's shop, guys in the shop, it was like a Wilson. Well, and Wilson's has made some comebacks with Padraig Harrington, but the those iconic brands that used to be around decades ago, and then you think, how could they ever go away? It's probably like in any industry, but then the Pings come up, the Callaways come up, and there's innovation, the TaylorMades come up. So it's just interesting how it evolves. But I mean, arguably, Jack greatest ever, maybe Tiger, but then you look at Ben Hogan, one of the best ever. He had his own company in Fort Worth, and then they ran into some trouble. So I don't know, I don't have the answer. And it's just like, it's a nice over a beer conversation about how you would think of Hogan, such an iconic name with Ben, and a perfectionist, like his company would be around forever.
Yeah. What happens is they get put into venture capitalist hands, and then they go mainstream. Like, you can look at all those ones you just mentioned. Wilson did, Spalding did.
Well, I was a big Hogan guy back in the. Hogan's
been owned by so many different
AMF, they really went off the rail. They were really, in my opinion, solely my opinion, they went off the rail when AMF Bowling bought them.
Yeah.
And I mean, as opposed to your point, Bobby, I think what you're, here's maybe arguably the greatest ball striker ever and perfectionist ever. He apparently scrapped the first entire run of irons because it didn't meet his specs.
Right. Exactly.
Here's the other part of that discussion, though, is that until Ping and Callaway and TaylorMade came along, the golf equipment business wasn't worth a shit, like nothing. So all of these companies, Spaldings and the Wilsons and the, Hague Ultras and the Hogans, all those companies, there was no real market there for them, right? And I think you look back at Ely Callaway and Carson Solheim and Mark King, if you want to throw him in the conversation. Those are the people that made the golf equipment industry what it is today. And there's a lot of money in it today. And then you can look at dickhead Bob Parsons, who blew the cover off the pricing in the equipment industry. And it's like that's where we're at now. A set of irons right now, if you can get a set of irons for under like $1,600, you're wondering like what you're buying if you're buying something that's substandard.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that long ago that you can get a really good set of irons for $400.
Off the back of what truck?
No, seriously.
I know. I mean,
when I say not that long ago, it's being relative. But when I was in golf retail, like we were selling, there was nothing over $500. Hogan Edges, remember Hogan Edges?
Oh, yeah.
So those came out and they were $450 and they were really expensive. And Ram was another brand that didn't have a home.
Yes.
But yeah, it's that industry is nuts how much it's changed.
Well, the other one I heard was that this is the opportune time. I mean, I'm sure with the bankruptcy, I don't know the legalese of the contract, but I'm sure the bankruptcy will terminate any agreement that Jack. So Jack could, in theory, I believe, launch his own new brand again.
I would doubt that he has.
And at 85, why do it?
Yeah. I mean, for the last 30 years, that brand has been nothing. Nathaniel Crosby used to run Nicklaus Golf.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm sure Jack would just like his name back.
Yeah. We'll do some course design work.
Yeah.
Exactly. And well,
do some bone fishing.
You know what? How good is this? How good are you at just like setting up, pass the turkey, send it on over, because it just so happens that the skins game is being played at a Nicklaus design course, Panther National in Palm Beach. Andy, back after 16 years, the skins game.
I'm going to take it back a lot longer than 16 years.
The Thanksgiving tradition.
My freshman year at the University of South Florida in Tampa, I was a northern kid and my parents were going to fly me home for Christmas, but they weren't going to fly me home for Thanksgiving and then a month later for Christmas. So I remember so clearly staying in my dorm with me and my buddy Mike Holmes, and we sat there and we ate our Thanksgiving dinner in the cafeteria and watched the Skins game in our rooms. In 1983, in November, was the first year ever of the Skins game, and I'll never forget that. And that was the first event ever of golf's quote unquote silly season. So it was the start of a lot of different things in this business.
Bobby, what's your best memory of the old Skins game?
Yeah, just I don't know, nostalgia wise, just seeing Arnie out there playing where he could still play and compete in a Skins scenario. I mean, that was always good. Trevino, it was neat when they were mic'd up and you could hear what was going on, the ribbing in the back and the forth. Just Freddie was on a tear for a while. They, John Daly. I remember when Tiger played, I think maybe 2 years, maybe one. They've had their iconic moments. The franchise, get a little stale, so it starts to, like anything, like TV shows or whatever, they sort of lose the viewerships. Part of me is happy it's back for the new, the younger kids or whatever. And especially if they can keep dropping in, or I hope they drop in a lot of the shots from the old time, because there were some really good shots. It was a lot of fun. But you know how I stand about this with these Skins things. I wish they played for their own money. That being said, but you're right, Andy, because this thing kicked off all that silly season, all these crazy things.
Yeah, remember Lee Trevino's hole-in-one at PGA West?
Yeah. I was just about to say, it was either I was having recollection that it was Trevino jarred it at Alcatraz, or did I actually do it in PlayStation PGA Tour? I couldn't remember which happened.
No, he jarred it. It. The number 17 on
number 17, Alcatraz.
Remember that? Yeah.
So
there was a "Don't be that guy" moment, if you guys remember, with Tom Watson and Gary Player too.
Yep. Oh yeah.
No, I don't remember. I vaguely refresh.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Watson said that Gary cheated.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Huh.
Let's reserve comment for us having Gary on the show.
I was going to say, why don't we wait for that, and we'll see if we can get his son in the background.
We will not add color commentary to that little tidbit.
But Bobby, here is actually a little twist that they did throw in there to try to give a little bit of value. Traditional Skins, every hole's carrying over, 2-tie, all tie. The twist is they're calling it a reverse purse.
Yeah.
In which each player starts with $1 million, and that amount goes up or down based on whether a player wins or loses a hole.
I feel so bad for those guys.
I do as well. I mean, I feel bad for JT. He's had surgery now, and now it's Captain Keegan, Tommy Fleetwood, Xander, and Shane Lowry.
I think it's a good group. Xander, you never know, but I love Shane Lowry. I think Fleetwood's going to be great. Those guys are going to be fun.
I think those guys are going to be fun. Do you think Xander and Keegan are going to be out to make money?
I probably. I don't know.
They'll figure out how to make it interesting and fun, I hope.
Yeah,
I hope.
It would be really exciting to me if you started a number, but then you can only go down. Like, that gets me interested. You keep winning money. What's another $1 million or $2 million to these guys? So it's like, whatever.
Nothing.
Could you imagine, to your point, think about this one, and maybe they get a piece of the television purse, but Rory, Scotty, and I don't even know who else you'd want to throw in there, putting up $5 million of their own to play for it.
I'm tuning in. I mean, years ago, in PGA Tour events, when they had exhibitions, and they were supposedly supposed to, the three of us would play, and the promoter says the winner gets this, second place this. The guys would get together and just say, hey, screw who wins, we split it. There were playoffs. If Andy and I tied in a tournament, we would go to the first team, whisper to each other, and go, Andy, whoever wins, do you want to split?
Yeah.
Like, stuff happened out there.
Yep. Like we're gonna have a playoff and declare a winner, but we're gonna split the money.
Split the money, yeah. Yep. Back in the day.
Andy, you were going to lead in before I rudely interrupted and took us down the actual show notes that we had for tonight. What were you going to say?
I have no idea. No idea.
There was something about the 10-2 New England Patriots are back, baby.
Drake, May.
Which Buffalo Bills team? Which Buffalo Bill? You know what? A serious question. What Buffalo Bills team is showing up?
We do not know. We
You know, the Buffalo Bills team that showed up trying to protect their quarterback last week was pretty scary. Like Houston's defensive line just obliterated the offensive linemen from.
And what is up with all these defensive just breakdowns in the NFL? I'm sorry, we're going to shift to NFL for a minute. What's up with all these break? I mean, you kind of expect it from the Giants, but the Dallas to put up 20, be down 21, and come back on the Eagles. Where is Christian?
The Giants have like snatched defeat from the jaws of victory like 5 times this year.
Yeah.
Like just ridiculous.
Yep.
Anybody putting bets on Belichick as their next head coach?
I say no way.
I'd say no way.
Interesting.
I don't think they want to deal with that.
Should we ask what Jordan says?
No, yeah. Belichick just sold his Nantucket cottage for $4 million.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Nice. Did he sell it to Portnoy?
Oh, there is a topic. Dave has invited Trump to Trump's granddaughter.
Hi, Trump.
Kai to be in the next
Internet Invitational, right?
Yes, and somebody else as well. Who else was the other one?
Andy.
No, but there was another one.
You didn't get the invite?
No, he didn't invite me.
Jeez, I'll make a phone call.
Texas senior amateur champion. You didn't get an invite?
I'm not the senior amateur champion.
Oh, player of the year. My apologies.
That's what I am. Player of the year.
Announcing the player of the year for the seniors in Texas.
This guy.
That guy. Be that guy.
Be that guy.
That's right. That's right. Who was the other one that he said he was going to invite?
Well, somebody's got to look it up.
I don't remember.
I'm going to look it up right now. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Well, now we got dead air. Bobby, say something. Caitlin Clark.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that's who it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. How about
this? Portnoy. You gotta. I mean, I'm sorry, but you gotta like Portnoy. Has also proposed increasing the prize pool to $10 million for the event.
So I just watched some of the documentaries that they did on Barstool, and I don't know if I ever told you guys this. My business partner, Harry Comforti, like grabbed Portnoy's hand and walked him around for like 3 years, introducing him to all these people in the liquor and beer business. Really helped him get kind of graduated from the newspaper thing into the internet. My company, Back Nine, we were the original, makers of all of Portnoy's Barstool merchandise. So we did all their hats and T-shirts. So it's pretty cool to see, what he was back then, and you can see it all on the documentary. I highly recommend the watch. It's pretty awesome.
Will we see you in the background?
You won't see me. Unless you see the reflection of me on my TV screen. You won't see me.
All right.
Somebody's getting text messages.
That's Bobby sending me notes.
Yeah, one might want to put their vibration thing.
No, Bob, I'm not doing that on air.
Yeah.
All right.
I had a question asked. I wanted to send it into the show.
Okay. Well, so it's the 18th green, so you can ask your question or make a statement.
Bobby, that's awesome. You know Harry.
I do. Holy
Harry's
God.
the best.
He said, I was like, oh my God, that's crazy.
Good little Italian man.
That is crazy. Yeah. All right. I guess a couple of thoughts. I read, I guess the PGA thing in me with the club professionals. I read a really cool story this week about a young guy in North Carolina that kept trying his PAT many times. There's lots of stories of mostly guys, I suppose, that have tried, because there's a playing ability test. You have to pass it to show playing ability to become a PGA member. It's part of the deal. And some people, I passed it the first time, boom, I was done. But guys have gone 5, 10, up to 20 times. So it really can change your life, your journey, if you can't do it. So this guy happened to go through a lot. The story is pretty cool. It's on Golf Digest. So if you're looking for something good over the holiday to read, it's a neat little story. But then our friend Brendan had BE had sent out a little text to some of the pros, and it was an interesting thing. It was like, what are you thankful for as a PGA pro? So it got me to stop and think. Obviously, my brothers with the Quiet Please podcast, I'm thankful for you guys, big time. But it was interesting. I responded to BE and I said, I'm really thankful for never losing the excitement and the curiosity and just the passion to find somebody that's literally never held a club, and within a few minutes to see them get the ball in the air. I didn't do it. They're holding the club. They're making the motion. But it's a really neat thing if you're an instructor that the base level. I felt people at Andy's level that are plus handicap, and that's gratifying. But there's something really magical about taking somebody literally that's never put their hands on a club, and within a few minutes, that ball's in the air. They have shot euphoria, and it's a really neat thing.
That's Andy. Awesome. So I wanted to quickly just say how thankful I am for this group of not just podcasters, but you guys are my buddies now. And Bobby, you've been my buddy for a long time, but it's great that we have this group, and I cherish the fact that we get to meet and talk golf, once a week and get into some interesting and crazy subjects. It's been a really cool part of my golf journey, and I'm super appreciative for all the things that it's brought me.
A piece of news before I go into my thankfulness, which is, and I said this in our group, and I think that's Andy, you touched on it. Each of us were at different stages of our career, even junior. And it's so cool to just shoot a text and say, hey guys, what's your thoughts about this? We have our own, if you've watched Ted Lasso, we have our own little Diamond Dogs texting thread.
Is that the turkey or the diamond dog?
it was like a turkey being chased by a diamond dog.
Yeah,
save that song.
I am thankful obviously for this little group. I love our little background. I'm looking at it the whole time, cracking up tonight. But on a piece of serious information here, Abraham Answer is reportedly moving from the Fireballs to the Twerk Golf Club in Live, and that is going to have, as I said in our group, playoff implications, folks. Playoff implications. Abraham Answer on the move, reported here, or reported on Nuclear Golf on X. I will just add that I'm thankful for all the other things, which is obviously health, family, friends. And to your point, Mr. Beldsari, we played our little staff thing last night. I'm thankful to stand on a golf course at sunset And if you haven't done it, and you should, because it's spectacular. So safe travels to everybody. Enjoy your time with family and friends wherever your roads may lead, and we will catch you next week.
You can do one
more
more
gobble.
Yeah.